What's up with stuff this afternoon? Miss Greenwald was just texting me.
So Chuck on Moore, we're staying in, or
No,
we're
we're hoping to be done.
okay, good.
I looked into all that, what's required for reinstatement of parental rights, but I think somebody's requesting that.
Yeah.
We're hoping to just give the bio mom sole managing, but also looking at the prospect of reinstating her parental rights and then being out. The other ones are just extensions.
Little is an extension, right?
Can anybody hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Well, your Zoom call from the last time that we just had is still on my phone. It won't go off my phone. It won't. So we've tried closing it out every way we know. Your Zoom call is being heard by people that have no business knowing what's going on right now. So I wanted y'all to know that it won't come off the phone. We've tried everything.
You don't have a leave meeting at the bottom, like where it says leave?
Yes, we've done that. The phone was closed out. Then all of a sudden we started hearing y'all talk over a phone that's off.
Are you okay? Just turn your phone off.
Did that.
Okay. Angelica can, yeah, there you go. I bet they were on you. I wonder if they were watching on YouTube. I don't know.
Everybody's going to testify. Please raise your hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay, this is our status hearing. I read the reports. Looks like Miss Simpson's doing well. I don't know where she is, though. Miss Gustafson, do you know where she is?
She should be here, Your Honor. She did confirm with me yesterday that she would be here, and I did ask her to sign on 15 minutes early.
Somebody with an SSI phone is here, and that's not right. And somebody on another case. That's the only one in the waiting room. So, okay. And the father, James Bush. Why don't we have an attorney appointed to represent him, Mr. He's acknowledged.
Yeah, so he signed the birth certificate apparently, and but he didn't believe he's the father. So you ordered genetic testing. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Okay. So, any news on Stafford? Any news on the DNA testing on Mr. Bush?
No, right now we're not being able to get in contact with Mr. Bush after the first hearing.
Okay. Guess we'll just rock along and see what happens there. But I have that Miss Simpson's doing well. Mr. Bush is anything. Heston is at foster family located close by.
Yes.
And so, Mr. Chairman, what do y'all need today?
Just ask that you order the service plans, Judge.
Okay. Miss Missy just sent me pictures. Super, super cute little man. Okay, thank you. Miss Gustafson, what do you need?
I don't know of anything that we need, Your Honor. I do know my client has been working services. I've reached out to her just now. She's not responded. So, I mean, she did respond yesterday and knew that we did have a hearing today. So I don't know what's going on with that. She's usually very responsive to me. So.
Okay. Yes. So overslept or something. As I sit here and yawn, maybe she overslept. Yeah. So, okay, good. Thank you. Costa, anything y'all need to add this signing report, Ms. Bainey?
No, ma'am. ECI just started, so really hoping that will make some differences in Heston's behavior and some progress in that area as well as speech. So, but otherwise, Mom is doing good. She is working her plan, and Heston is doing well.
Great. Thank you. Ms. Mystic?
Agreed, Judge. And I would ask, obviously, if we have discretion to increase her supervised time. And I know she's looking for another therapist. And so once she gets with that and we get recommendations, but other than that, he's doing great. Foster family is outstanding. And the neat thing in talking with the foster family is they are so supportive and cheering for Mom. So I always like to hear that.
I'm here. I need to do something with my lighting, but I am here, y'all.
I got you. Thank you.
Your Honor, that is one thing. She was dismissed from Ms. Chapman, and we would like the authority for the department to pay for her to have another therapist. I know my client was looking for her own therapist. I am concerned about her having her own, for her having the resources to pay for a therapist. And I know that since she's been dismissed, that, a lot of times we have reservations about the department paying for another one, but I have discussed that with her, and we are very early on in this case, and it is important for her to have the therapy. So I would like to ask for her to have another one appointed.
I'm gonna put CPS provided therapist for mom. Visits increase per CPS mid-items. Service plan is ordered. That sounds like we need everything else, and Heston's doing well, and it sounds like the foster family's great and for a better situation like that. So everybody get their pens, and I'll give y'all our report dates. Okay, well, Ms. Stafford, Ms. Gustafson, tell mom to keep up the good work. Ms. Stafford, get her into some new counseling, and yay for Heston. And I guess he's probably going to need, well, ECI, maybe that'll work out some of the issues that he's having. So good.
Then CASA
Okay,
advocate.
good reports. Thank you. CHRI, but I don't think, let's see. I don't think there's a cost, but that's the cost on this case. No, it's Miss Bias. Okay. See, it's time. Miss McClure, I don't see any prison people.
All right. Thank you, Judge. I did make those arrangements, but I guess they weren't able to do it.
iPhone is the only person, and that's not going to be a prison number.
No, it'll be calling in on the Zoom line.
Right. Will you want me to check? No, yeah, they wouldn't call him from an iPhone. You think? I'll check. Let me just see who it is. iPhone, can you unmute and identify yourself? We need to see your, yes, ma'am. She looks like she has a Costa shirt on.
Yeah, that's Miss Bird on Mills.
Okay, y'all, Miss Moore, then make sure everybody knows how to put their name on there. This is a permanency hearing. The kiddos are with mom, and I wrote that some CPS wants to close the case. Is that correct, Ms. Shermer?
Judge, we talked earlier about possibly just dismissing this case today, but I think that we're probably going to need final orders. So we're just asking that you have a permanency hearing today and reset for final, close to 45 days out as possible. But I think our next available court date would be the 12/6 date.
For including the 45 days?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. McClure, what's the release information on Mr. Davis?
It's not going to be before December from what I remember.
Okay. Well, but according to the Ms. Osmond's reports and Ms. Bice's report, kids are doing good with mom. Everything's well. Okay. Mr. Turner, you don't need anything?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Chandler, y'all good?
Yes, Your Honor. I just want to commend Ms. Weller on just completely turning her life around since this case started. And if you'd like to see pictures of the kids, I can certainly ask Ms. Weller to send me those, and I'll send them through Ms. Mystic.
Absolutely.
I have them.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes, but I always want pictures. Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you, Ms. Chandler. Ms. McClure,
No, Your Honor. I'll make sure that he's able to appear for the next hearing, and we'll see if that happens.
okay, thank you. Okay, Ms. Bias, anything else that wasn't in your report?
Your Honor, Ms. Bias is having some technical difficulties. I apologize. But our report states how well they're all doing, and we're very proud of Jaslyn as well. And the only thing that would be different is that we do support waiting for a final, to get those final orders. We do have some safety concerns for Mr. Davis.
Okay, sounds like that's the plan. And remind me why about Zayden's dad. I have Mr. Davis as the father of Oakley, but I don't have a dad for Zayden.
He was found to be the father.
Hold on. Mr. Davis is Zayden's dad too?
Yes. They did the DNA test at the same time, I believe, because I remember seeing them at the same time.
It just didn't get added to my file. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, Ms. Mystic, you need anything?
No, Judge, I just echo what everybody has said, and she's done amazing and is on top of things. And I sent you a bunch of pictures.
Yeah, let me look at my picture. Oh,
and a video. We got a haircut video.
You have really, really cute kids. Oh, feeding a baby. Those are really special. Okay, Ms. Weller, you have a service plan. You have to comply. Your parental rights can be subject to termination. You know all that. Keep up the good work. We'll set for final trial. We'll move the trial up a month till the December 6th date that Mr. Sturmer talked about. Y'all agree that that can be held via Zoom, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All
Yes,
powers,
Your Honor.
the whole truth, all powers continue. Good luck. Okay, so status hearing. It's my understanding that Ariel is with foster family, doing well, kind of close by. Miss Mills needs to get a new therapist, so I'm going to order yes to provide Miss Mills with a new therapist. I'm going to say visits for Miss Mills can increase as agreed by CPS and the ad litems. CPS needs to provide child care for the foster family. I read the service plan, looks like it's a good plan, so I'm going to approve the service plan for just approve the service plan, period. It's my understanding that Ms. Gustafson has not had any contact with Mr. Thompson. Ms. Stafford, or you or anybody else had any contact with him? No? No. Okay, so he's still missing. Lawyers, y'all need anything else, or CASA, that wasn't already in your reports?
Just real quick, can somebody clarify? The report says that the alleged father is at 100 North Lamar, which is a Tarrant County jail. Does he go by a different name?
He's apparently out.
Yeah, he is out of jail, but
released.
he
Okay.
was in Tarrant County Jail under that name.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, if anybody has a current address, please send it to me.
If I locate anything, I will certainly do so.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Ms. McClure, y'all need anything?
Well, my client does want the court to know that she wishes to have a monitored return of her child today.
Okay. Cute child. Well, I don't go from supervised visitation to CPS office to monitor return. We would have to do some baby steps to get to a monitor return and increasing visitation, and we're not there yet. Plus, I might, since we're having to change therapist in midstream, I'm going to need a therapist recommendation probably also too.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Ms. Gustafson, other than client, you need anything?
No, it
Thank
would
you.
be helpful to have that.
Cost, anything that's not in y'all's report that you need to add?
Yes, please.
Okay.
This is a very short version of what I wanted to say, but we have talked about it already. But I just want the court to know that Michaela has had an extremely bad life, and it has affected her. And yes, she is lacking in social skills and educational skills, and that's what we're working on. I can tell her, give her advice, and it takes a little while for it to soak in. But with people who deal with her, they just need to know that because of her history, and she says the paper that, or the invitation to the FGC meeting said unable to determine. And that keeps coming up to her. She thinks she's done nothing wrong to have her baby taken away from her. She feels like her history, along with people saying she has different health problems and they're not proven, it is just like her past is still in her present. And when it all builds up, especially like with a counselor, if the counselor says, I want you to be honest and you be true and everything be, you tell me like it is, that's when she's thinking of her child all the time. And that's when she thinks that she's been done wrong. And that's when she sometimes explodes. It may be inappropriate type of, but it's an angry mother is what it is. But she's never angry with her child. I have seen her visit with her baby many times. She's taken good care of that baby. She's never ugly to the baby. She soothes the baby, she feeds the baby, she changes their diapers, she talks to her. And even though reading is a problem for her, she still reads to her baby, which I have told her as a retired educator that will improve her reading. But I'm just trying to give her side of it so people know this is how you have. I feel like I know her by now, talking to her 6 to 10 times a day sometimes, and she just will react sometimes without thinking, and it's with adults always. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, new therapists can work on some of that, and it sounds like there's a lot of PTSD that needs to be addressed also, a whole lot. And, sometimes PTSD that we have can affect, our children and our family and, lawyers and people in the case. And, we need to try to work through some of that, or at least we can't work through it. We can give Ms. Mills some skills to be able to try to use, in the future. So we don't have to come back. We don't have to do this anymore, So
Yes.
Ms. Mills, I am going to get you a new therapist, and I don't know what happened with the therapist, but therapy is a good thing. And you know what I would tell you, as long as somebody else is paying for therapy, girl, you jump on it. Okay. I mean, I don't know if your lawyer wants you to talk.
Excuse me, Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
I just also wanted to let the court know that Michaelia has more than one friend now. She has developed a very good relationship with her neighbor that's downstairs. It's like a 2-story house. She just walks downstairs and her neighbor's there. Her neighbor has agreed to support her in any way, also including babysitting when she works. And she, due to the neighbor, she has gotten involved in a church. So the church said they would support her, including the pastor who does talk to her a lot. So but she does have support of a church now, which I think will help her a lot.
Okay, good. And a friend. So that's good. And some neighbors. So that's good. Okay, well, good. Good news. So we're working through the process. So that's good. Ms. McClure, do you want your client to say anything or not?
I'd rather her not, unless I know what it's going to be. If you want to text me very quickly, I'll look at it, but I just don't know if it would be a good idea right now.
Your Honor, while they're doing that, it's okay if I share as well. So just to back up everything that my advocate said, and those social skills, with her being an educator, she is working with her on a lot of different things. So I think that, we can move forward more and more, hopefully. And, she has been in foster care since she was 4 and was abused and didn't learn a lot of these skills. And she ended up being, on the street and in an abusive relationship. So I think that, that has a huge impact on why she does have CPS history. And just to state it out loud, Ms. Mills did share with us, this is just what she told us, that her first 2 removals, she did relinquish because she just knew she wasn't in the place to care for those children. So I would just like to give her some credit out, speaking it out loud, that she, did get a home that she filled with baby clothes and everything that child could need. And, she's more stable now. So just to give her some credit for all of the work that she did since that CPS history.
And Judge, I'm ready to tell you what my client wants you to know. You're muted, Judge.
I don't know why I did that. Before you tell me that, Ms. McClure, is your client on any meds?
Can you give me a thumbs up that you are, or a thumbs down that you're not? Thumbs down. She does not have any medication.
Okay.
She did go do her psychological, she told me very recently, but I don't think we have it back yet.
Okay. Okay, Ms. McClure, what would you like to add?
Well, first I'd like to say, before I get to what she wanted you to know, she is, I know we had a blip with the therapist and we're going to get a new therapist and we're going to get on it, but she has gone for her psychological. She has been compliant. She has made her visits. She very much wants them to be longer. And I will say that for somebody that has such a history of struggles and lots of hills to climb, I will say she does want this baby back. She does want this child to be in her home. She has made it clear that she is willing to do what is necessary to get her back home. And she just wants the court to know that she loves her child and she will do anything for that child. And I believe that she wants to do anything and everything she can to have her back in her home.
Okay. Well, then I think a new therapist is a great idea. One thing that I want to make sure is addressed, and I don't know if it's with the therapist or a different class, some anger management. Sounds like we're having some, I don't know as much as y'all know, but is anger management and the Stafford addressed in our service plan?
No, but we can add that anger management with the therapist or find some classes for her.
Okay, I'm going to add that to the order today.
Okay. Yes, Your Honor.
That will just help with some of the things that Ms. Bird was talking about. I think that's good. And then sounds like Ms. Bird is having like some social skills kind of class with Ms. Mills too, and that's good. Okay, Ms. Mystic, anything you need? You sent me pictures of Ariel, a bunch of pictures of Ariel. She is a cute, healthy, cute clothes, everything, cute little girl.
Yeah.
Anything you need?
No, Judge. I think you've addressed everything.
Okay. Everybody get their pens out, and I'll give everybody our court dates. Ms. Mills, you have a service plan. You have to comply. Your parental rights could be subject to termination. So, okay, well, things are headed in the right direction. Ms. Stafford, quicker we can get new therapists, I think that would be a great plan. And good luck. We'll see y'all at our next court date. Thank you. Okay, I didn't get a CPS report, so I don't know what's going on in that. I did get a cost report. Sophia's doing well, according to it. And so, Mr. Sturmer, you may begin since I didn't get a CPS report.
Judge, it sounds like things are rocking along pretty well now. Obviously, we had that hiccup back several months ago with the parents being unsupervised away from the placement, but it sounds like things are going better now. If I could briefly just call Grace Stafford.
Okay.
Yes.
Ms. Stafford, the department's report says that you're recommending unsupervised visits for mothers. Is that correct?
Yes.
You already have a plan in place for that?
Yes, right now the planning is like we established as the beginning of the case, that it was like in the afternoons, in the evening, the 4 hours, and then on the weekends.
Okay, so is she just having unsupervised in the home, or is she allowed to be outside the home?
It can be inside the home or it can be outside the home.
Okay, and then as for the father, the report says that you're recommending unsupervised visits as soon as he provides his address. What's the holdup with that?
Yes, Mr. Ponce, he just recently returned and he got his own apartment. I was supposed to see the residence yesterday, but he's waiting because he's living with a roommate. So I'm just waiting for him to be able to visit the home.
Okay, and I know your report also says that the mother's address is protected, but just to be clear, the parents are not together at this time. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Does the department have any other recommendations?
Right now, it was just like doing the unsupervised visit and just wait until that provide and we're able to visit the home.
Okay. And would you also be recommending that the department, along with the ad litems, have the discretion to increase the unsupervised time?
Yes, correct.
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions of Ms. Stafford? Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I do.
You do.
Ms. Stafford,
Yes.
but it sounds like as far as the dad, there's no concerns with him having unsupervised, right?
Correct.
So I know you want to go to his residence and check it out, but is there any issue with him taking her and like going out to eat, going to a movie, going to the park, anything like that?
No, as soon as we were able to get the residence and everything and we discussed with the litem, we can start doing unsupervised too.
Right. But my question is, if the concern is that he can't have unsupervised at his house because you haven't checked it out, what's the harm in him having unsupervised in public places until you check it out?
To do it like instead of waiting for the home, just do it like outside on a park and stuff.
Right. Until you have the.
If we discuss it with the litem, there is no problem with the department.
Okay. So if Dory's giving you a thumbs up She's good with it. You're okay with it? Sorry. And I'm sorry if Costa's okay with it as well.
We're okay with that.
Okay. All right. So Ms. Stafford, that's okay with the department?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll pass witness.
Anybody else? Okay, no other questions, Ms. Stafford. Next witness, Mr. Sturmer.
I don't have any other witnesses, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Glass, any witnesses?
Call my client. Call my client, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Pio Quinto, or Sergeant Pio Quinto, sorry. You have a place to live and everything is going fine with you, right?
Yes.
And you had wanted a monitored return with your daughter?
Yes.
Where's your mother at?
My mom currently lives in my home with my daughter. I'm the one who does not live in the home.
Okay. Would there be any, does your mother have any issues with you moving back into the home?
No.
Where are you in completing your service plan?
I have completed everything on my service plan.
Thank you. Pass the witness.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions of Ms. Pio Quinto? Okay. Any more witnesses, Mr. Glass?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Remind me, Mr. Glass, now what mom's visit, we're going to increase mom's visitation. Remind me what it is right now.
Well, Judge, what I was going to ask was that mom be able to return to the home.
Right.
Since we're basically looking at unsupervised for her, and I think that's where we're going. Ms. Stafford, I believe, has been able to visit the home. Grandma is still there. That's what we're looking for.
Mr. Glass, if you want to just directly ask CPS for their recommendation, that's fine with me.
All right.
You want, Mr. Glass, you want to call Ms. Stafford back?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
I call Grace Stafford.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Stafford, you're back up.
Yes.
Ms. Stafford, you heard my line of questioning.
Yes.
Are there any issues from the department with mom moving back into her home?
No.
Thank you. Pass the witness.
You want any more questions, Mr. Glass?
Nope, I'm good with that, Judge.
Yeah, no. Okay. Okay. Casa, Ms. Christine, anything, what do you think about Mr. Glass's question? Anything else that went in your report?
Yeah, we're okay with mom moving back into the home. Grandma's there too. And I'm also on board with CPS for dad getting unsupervised visits. I understand that he was looking for a place when he got back from NTC, and I did advise him to seek out a place with roommates where the roommates would agree to background checks. That was an issue before in a place that he had found. So it sounds like he's got a new place that will work out well for unsupervised visits. Sophia's doing great. She is enjoying her new school. One of my concerns was that she was a little bit delayed in going to school because she was in Chicago so long, but she's enrolled now. She's been riding the bus, which apparently she really likes. Grandma doesn't love driving far distances, especially in a place like Texas. So she rides the bus to school. Grandma drops her off at the bus stop on the corner and then picks her up there. She says that she's making lots of friends and that she's having a really good time at school. I did email you a picture. She's just adorable. And it sounds like both parents are really on track with their services. So it sounds like the military protection order was also lifted so that they can start co-parenting classes whenever CPS sets that up, which I think would be a really good idea for them. And I think everything's on track.
Pictures, darling. I love her hair.
And little pigtails.
Yeah, that's super cute. Yeah, she's cute. Okay, thank you, Ms. Christine. Anybody have any questions of Casa? No? Ms. Mystic, what do you think about everything?
Judge, I'm good with unsupervised time for dad and until the house is checked unsupervised anywhere else. I think I'm good with mom moving back in. I don't want to call a request of monitored return yet, but move back in the home, yes.
Okay. When is grandma going to go back where she's from when all this is over with? Is that the plan? Okay. So technically when we start a monitor return, grandma can go back, right? Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to say visits for dad increase per CPS and ad litem. Y'all's plan for Mr. Ponce sounds good. Ms. Pia Quinto can move back into her home and be unsupervised with Sophia. Grandma will still stay there. I'm not going to call it a monitor return right now. We're set for final trial on 1/3/24. Oh, I will add this. Hold on. Mr. Bass, you'll like this. I can say I can't talk today. Monitored return can be agreed upon by CPS and ad litem, so we can start that hopefully long before the 1/3/24 case. Final trial. See, I can't talk today. Can't think today. So, okay, that'll work out good. So sounds like we're on a good track. Ms. Pia Quinto, you have a service plan. You have to comply. Your parental rights can be subject to termination. But things are going really well. We're on a fast track. So this is great. Good news. Okay, thank you. I will see y'all at our next hearing. Thank you. Reports. Really. Matthew needs to be in counseling. Mom won't talk to CASA, and I didn't write down anything from Mr. Felix, so I don't remember about him. So this is our first permanency hearing. Children are doing well at their placement. So, Mr. Sherman, you may begin.
Just briefly like to call Grace Stafford.
Okay.
Ms. Stafford, you're the caseworker, correct?
Yes.
Is there anything that's not included in your report that you need to inform the court about?
Right now, I've been in contact with Mr. Felix Serving. I'm not being in contact with Mr. Zachary Weaver, and I'm not being in contact with Ms. Gonzalez.
Okay. When was the last time you had contact with Mom?
Right now, I have contact with Mom. She sent me a text on September 28 that she got her ID. I told her that I would need to talk to her because it's been a couple of weeks that I've not been in contact. I called her and I didn't get a response.
Okay, but right now she's not having visits, is that correct?
Right now, she's not having visit, correct?
Okay, and she knows what she needs to do, or you've expressed to her what she needs to do in order to resume those visits, correct?
Yes.
Okay. As for Mr. Servin, looks like he's here today. The report expresses that he's working a lot and he's not able to work services. Is that the last contact that you've had with him?
Correct. He told me that he was going to get a drug test for work related. I told him that we will still need to get, the department still need to get the drug test, but I was more than happy to receive the results too.
Okay, and so did you ask him to provide those results to you?
As soon as he got it, yes.
Okay. Has he had any visits?
No.
If he provides you a clean drug test, is the department going to recommend that he have any visits?
Yes, if he start getting and he's getting the services, yes.
Okay. And then as for Mr. Weaver, looks like he was recently arrested. Is that correct?
Correct.
And he's not been able to work services due to his incarceration?
Right now, I'm not being in contact with him.
Okay. Anything else you didn't make the court aware of?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll pass the witness.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions of Ms. Stafford?
I just have one. Ms. Stafford, when was the last time that you spoke with Mr. Weaver?
Last time that I tried to get in contact with Mr. Weaver was around the middle of September. So every month I try to call them because I don't have the location that they're in Dallas because all the parents are located in Dallas, Fort Worth. Yeah, that was pretty much the last time. And also I sent a letter to the address that the department have with the plan of services.
And I assume you didn't get a response?
Not right now.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Thank you. Anybody else? No. Okay. Next witness, Mr. Sturmer.
I don't have any other witnesses.
Okay. Ms. San Miguel, any witnesses? You know where Mom is?
No, I talked to her here and there, but she hasn't responded to my last text, and I did send her the court report. I did text her about court and gave her the code, and so I know she's aware of it because she asked me about details about it. But then she stopped communicating when I was asking her about services and why she's not doing services. But I still have my request on file. I think that email that she wants a new attorney. So, and I'm having difficulty reaching her, and I think she wants the case to be transferred up to where she's living at up there and the new attorney up there. is what she's wanting. But then I sent her the form. I sent her I sent everybody a copy of the motion and the order. But I keep bugging her about, okay, if you want a new attorney, then I have to stop working on this case and you need to send me back the signature that you want a new attorney so I can present that to the judge the next time we go to court. And she'll say, okay. And then I never get it. And I'll ask her, hey, still need that signature page. Can you send that back? And it just drops from there.
Okay. Well, I'm not real keen on appointing a new attorney when she doesn't even thrill us with her presence in court. I mean, and I'm sorry for you to have to continue to work on it, but if she wants a new attorney, she needs to come to court and tell me why she wants a new attorney, and she needs to come to court, period. I mean, I think just do the bare minimum that you can do, forward information to her and tell her that she needs to come to court.
Okay. Yeah. I think the only conflict is like when I call her out on things because I'm pretty direct. And so I think there's that.
Well, I mean, it's not like she's in a position to get her children back when she's not doing her service plan.
Right. And I need to be firm and make sure that she understands that and that she understands how serious it is, which is why, I phrase things and word things and I'm on her about those things. And she doesn't like that, but she'll respond if it's something that she wants or information. Like she told me she had COVID in August. So I knew that, and she sent me the form, the test results and all that kind of stuff as proof, because I said I would need proof so that I can send it because of the drug testing, and she did comply with that. So if it's something that she's okay with, she'll do. But when it's me saying, well, why haven't you called, or where, have you done this or that? And then it's silence. So,
well, tell her that I said that everybody on my wheel is direct like you, because if they're not direct like you and tell people how things need to be, then they don't need to be on my wheel. So, I mean, we could, that's the way it is. So just tell her I said that.
Okay.
It's not like I sugarcoat a whole lot. So, Ms. Stafford, what do you want to add?
Yeah, I would like to add about the situation that she requests a new lawyer. When I got that call, probably back in July, I think at the end of July, she said that she was not being able in contact with the lawyer. But after we continued with the conversation, she stated that she was being in contact the day before.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I gave her a new attorney, she's going to have the same complaints that she does with Miss San Miguel. And who's to say she's going to do her service plan any more than she's doing it now? So, no, sorry. So, Miss San Miguel, I mean, if that comes up again, maybe we need to set this for a special hearing, or like you said, get every mom and everybody else to sign off on an agreed withdrawal order. But I'm not real keen on it right now.
Yeah, I understand. And I think that it's the fact that she's not signing, she's not overly eager either to switch to another attorney. I think it's just certain days when we kind of, I'm like, if you don't do this and you're this far behind, then you're not getting your kids back. And when I tell her things that direct, then she's mad at me and doesn't want to talk to me because then she thinks I'm not on her side and, not defending her or whatever. And I'm trying to explain, look, you've got to help me help you. And these are what we need to do. And if, this is going to happen. It's not. So, and that's when I think she gets upset. So there's good and bad communication moments. So,
well, I'm happy for her to come to court. We'll just have we can explain that to her if need be. So, thank you. Okay. Anything else, Ms. San Miguel? No,
Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Gustafson, other than a client, you need anything?
No, I'm a little short of clients today.
Sometimes it's like that, isn't it? Thank you. Ms. Kay.
My client's here. Yay.
Here, yes.
I noted from the report that he's not having visitation. And I was wondering if that's because the department says he shouldn't have any, or if it's because he's just not making it.
Ms. Stafford.
At the beginning of the visitation, yes, she was not able to go to the visit because she got COVID, but also she's not been drug tested since the case was open.
No, Mr. Felix.
Oh, Mr. Felix.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, sorry, my apologize. No, Mr. Felix, we got the contractor to set up visitation, but because we are not being able to get like the services, and he's not been drug testing, but I've been in contact with Mr. Servin, and he said that he is willing to do. It's just that he got a lot of work. So we'll see if we can get that reestablished.
Miss, why don't we do a hair strand on Mr. Servin? That might solve some of these problems.
I think they offered him one and he didn't go.
For now.
Well, I'm going to need something because I'm not just going to approve visitation based on employee UAs. Okay, I'm going to order. I think nail test is a good idea, Ms. Mystic.
They had asked him to do a hair follicle test by June 9th and he did not go. So they have tried to get a hair follicle on him.
Well, I previously had Mr. Servin can visit as agreed by CPS and in items and placement. So he's got that into effect. Let's see. Ms. Stafford, last time I ordered Miss Gonzalez to provide written drug test results to you, and her attorney was to circulate those. I don't remember what that, testimony was about. Did you get those drug tests back in summer?
Yes, the first one back in June when that was with the investigator. Yes, we got the results.
Okay, what was the results, negative or positive?
It was, real quick because it was positive. That was the first one, April 27, and it was positive for marijuana with levels of 102.
Nothing else though, right?
That was the only one that we have.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. Lee. Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Kay, anything else?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Lee, y'all need anything else? Not your report?
No, I just need to, I'll get with Ms. Stafford and I'll get Mr. Felix Servin information and talk with him. The kids are doing well. I went to visit the older ones at the school and I went to the house to visit Jordan, and Casa was able to get the placement, a bed for Jordan. And we really need to get Matthew. All the kids need therapy, but Matthew needs it the worst because Casa believes he was playing the role of the father and the adult taking care of his brothers and sisters. And he feels that it was his fault of what happened to his little brother. When I went down there, that's all he talked about was he tried to help and he didn't know why it happened or what happened. And the placement is doing very well. She's trying to wean him off of trying to be the adult and to be a kid, because if the other children does something, he'll tell the placement, hey, I got it, I'll handle it. But then the placement tell him, no, hey, we're the adults and you're the child. So you go and be the child and we'll handle it. And I even printed out the paperwork to take to Miss Gonzalez for her to fill out. The placement took it over there to her and she never came out of the house, never filled out any of the paperwork. So our concerns is that she's not going to do what she's supposed to do. And Casa's recommending those kids stay where they're at because they're happy and the placement is very happy to have the children in there. And once I talked to Mr. Servin and he does the hair test or nail test, then Casa would have no problem with him visiting the children because the children need someone in their life that's going to be consistent, not just there for a moment and then disappear and these kids end up in the same situation that they're in now, y'all.
Mr. Lee, let me look at something real quick. Placement is family, correct?
And
yes, Your Honor, the aunt, she's the maternal aunt.
Maternal aunt. Does she have any other kids?
Not in the home, not that I know of, Your Honor.
Okay, okay. Because she got a bunch of them there. I mean, they're precious, darling. I mean, I got the video. I got the really, really cute pictures of them from Miss Mystic. They're really cute. Mr. Lee, based on your investigation, did Mr. Servin have a relationship with these children before they were removed?
From my recollection, yes, he had a relationship with all of the children, but I want to sit down with him and talk face to face to clarify that.
Okay.
It was just hearsay. They said that he was there, but I just want to hear from him. But from the beginning of the case, they said that he was there for all of the children, Your Honor.
Okay.
And he was providing for all of them.
Did mom move to Dallas?
Yes, Your Honor, she moved there, but she don't have a stable residence. It's like 1 week you'll call her, she's at this residence, and then you call her a week or two later and she's at another residence staying with someone, and she don't know how long she's going to be able to stay. So my recollection, she don't have a stable residence. She's just staying with different people, and we never know who she's staying with. It's like everybody say, sometimes she'll answer the phone and sometimes you won't. It's a hit and miss. And if you get a hold of her, she'll say that you can meet, but then when it comes time to meet, something always comes up, or she just don't answer the phone or text or anything, Your Honor.
Lovely. Okay. Okay, thank you. Anybody have any questions, Mr. Lee? No? Okay, Miss Mystic, what do you need to add?
So yeah, that video is kind of their morning routine. This aunt has gone above and beyond. She's in it for the long haul, if need be. I talked to her about licensing, but there's some hiccups there, but we can work on that. And so they love it there. That's where they want to be.
Good. Okay. Okay, Mr. Felix, you have a service plan. You have to comply. Your parental rights can be subject to termination. I'm going to order Mr. Servin to submit to a nail test within the month set up by the department. Mr. Servin is to pay $275, which is way cheap, per month child support beginning 10/20/23, payable to Miss Mystic, and then she'll afford it to the placement, and the order about personal effects provided by the parents and Mr. Servin is to remain in effect. CPS is to obtain a counselor for Matthew. Our next permanency hearing is January 3rd at 24. Lawyers and Casa y'all agree that can be held via Zoom? Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Judge, can I just let Mr. Servin know to look at the chat? I put my phone number, who he needs to ask for to make his payment. Ask for Donna. And I put the number if he wants to write that down.
Okay, Miss Kate.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Kristen. You got it. Okay.
And what is that amount again on the parents' child support?
I just did the dad's $275. Your client, and plus personal effects, your client's been ordered to provide personal effects. Probably do mom child support next time. So, okay, well, good news, and good news, the kids are doing well. They're really, really cute. Thank God for that aunt. Thank goodness. So, okay, we'll be in recess. Okay, Zariah's at the group home in Bell County. Mom hadn't, I didn't view the CPS report, so I don't know. Oh, I did. I got it later. Didn't really learn anything new. Mom hadn't done her hair strand. Mom works, but the boyfriend, I think, pays the bills. Sounds like when the two of them, the mom and Zariah talk, it's sort of like silence. Didn't really get a real good feel on their visits. I think it's probably, no, it's you. No, it's you. No, it's you. I mean, I think it's probably a little bit of both of them, both being kind of hard-headed and my way or the highway kind of deal. So that's what I got. Ms. Sturmer, what do you need today?
I think I'd just like to call Raven Cheney and let her update the court on anything that she has.
Okay.
Hello. So since our court report was e-filed, I was able to speak with placement, and Zahira is seeing an individual therapist through Central County Services, and her therapist has stated to placement, I have yet to speak with her because Z has to have one more intake appointment, that she is willing to do informal family therapy where if Zahira is okay with it, she will call mom and they can do like therapeutic phone calls to try and bridge the gap, but it can't be considered therapy because of the licensure requirements.
Right.
And this can only happen if Z is okay with this
Right.
communication, which I know Casa and myself, we've been trying to coordinate phone calls, but Zahira has stated to me on several occasions that she does not want to talk to her mom because it is triggering to her. And she has refused phone calls the last 2 weeks, I believe. So we haven't been able to get phone call communication going recently, and when it has not been productive in nature.
Okay, well, that's kind of the same old, same old. Anybody have any questions, Ms. Cheney? No?
No.
Another witness, Mr. Sturmer?
I don't have any other witnesses, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Darby, witnesses?
I don't have any witnesses. Sorry, she emailed me yesterday. She told me that she's now been unemployed for 2 weeks. She said she paid for a urine test. Still doesn't have the funds for the hair test. She said she had a job interview today.
So,
at 11. So that,
oh, you've actually opened the actual court template.
Ms.
Well,
Hanley,
let me explain all this read to you. This is
Ms.
how
Moore.
Judge Mabray is.
We might learn something, y'all.
I know. Should have just let her keep going.
I know.
She said Brandon was under the impression CPS was running a background check, and she understands if she's not willing to come to New York, she doesn't really know what to do about that either. So,
What's the state? Anybody know what the status of that other ICPC on that other family that we ordered from North Carolina?
Yes, Judge, it has been submitted, and to my knowledge, it has been sent over to North Carolina as of this week. I know we submitted the final bit of information that they needed after doing reviews earlier this week, and should be sent now that they have that final special hearing.
Has anybody talked to that lady we're doing the ICPC on to see if she takes Z? She is?
Yes,
No.
ma'am. We have spoken, both Missy and I have spoken to her on a few occasions, and all she wants is for Z to be in a placement where she's cared for and healthy. And that is her biggest concern as of right now that I know of.
Okay, good. Well, that's good news. Okay, anything else, Ms. Darby? No.
no.
Okay. Ms. Nelson, anything that wasn't in your report you need to add?
And the only thing I would add is I do agree that it's best that any future conversations between Z or mom occur with a therapist in a therapeutic setting, because it just kind of ended up backfiring on both ends for both parties involved. And you're right, it was both and, but I felt like it was kind of making the dynamic worse. So, but everything else was in my report. So no ma'am.
But I don't, number one, I get tired of these teenagers thinking that they rule the world, and they don't. When we were 14, we were told what to do. We didn't have these options that these kids today. I don't want her to think, if she's going to therapy with her mom, if I don't want it to be her decision, she needs to do this with her mom, period, end of story.
Yeah. And I think that's an obstacle we're coming against, is just kind of that attitude. And those are the conversations we've had of just like, kind of your opinion doesn't change what the facts are, whether it's, school boys, all of the things that come with the teen territory. That's a conversation we keep circling around to again and again. So I hope that working with a therapist, because that just started a couple weeks ago, I'm hoping that will at least help set some ground rules and reality checks.
Well, and also her opinion, not talking to the therapist, it might land her in New York City.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's what we've discussed. I will say for the calls, it was distressing to witness because mom was very engaged with her son and with her daughter, not at all. So that was very much a dynamic that I'm a stranger, and I noticed kind of just the engagement, the love, the affection, and then just kind of the stone cold. And I know there's water under the bridge, but just with my conversations with mom, she doesn't think it's her problem to help fix. And that's also, like Zahira, like you said, teens don't run the world, and she needs to learn that now before she's a legal adult. But I do see how the calls are adding to that dynamic for her.
Well, I can totally understand. You got a 14-year-old who feels like her mother's abandoned her and chosen, sorry, Brittany, but I have talked to her, chosen men over her. And then she doesn't even have enough common courtesy to say, baby daddy or friend or somebody take care of this baby so I can try to mend a relationship with my 14-year-old girl. I mean, that's messed up, So Brittany, you might want to pass that on. That I said that is her taking care of that. But I mean, I know it's her baby, but the baby has a baby daddy that's in the picture.
I will.
Or the mom lives in a supposedly a cool complex place where there's people that can take care of the baby. I mean, I thought the baby daddy was taking care of the baby when the mama was at work. Wasn't that the way that was?
It was.
So it's not like he's incapable of taking care of the kid for 15 minutes while mom talks to Z.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Brittany, you need to, that's, like I said, they're both hard-headed as all get out.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
So, okay, Miss Mystic.
So I do agree that it needs to be in a therapeutic setting. I know that we can't order it just because if we order the therapist to bring mom, that messes with the licensing. So I'm hoping with Missy and connection with Z that if she doesn't say, yes, I want mom to come into these sessions each time, that we can't get a true reading from a therapist watching. So that may be, you know what I mean? So that might be a better way to do it than just those two trying to have a conversation. But other than that, just waiting on the ICPC, I think, and status quo.
I agree. I'm going to say contact with mom in a therapeutic setting. Final trial is 1/17/24. Everything else continue. Y'all agree to Zoom for the final. Now, and y'all tell her, I mean, like Dory said, if we can't get a feel for how things are, then, I mean, seriously, I would send her to New York because I mean, she's not willing to work on this. What am I going to do?
Yes, ma'am. I'll talk to her.
And tell her what I said, that 14-year-olds don't make these decisions. And of course, the therapist, I mean, if I need to put in a court order, I will. Therapists are all warm and fuzzy, and that's her client, blah, 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 blah. But, therapists ain't going to tell her what she has to do, but therapist should tell her she's 14 and she didn't make decisions, but whatever.
He definitely will.
Huh?
Missy definitely will.
Several times a week, Your Honor. Several times a week.
Well, if you need me to be the bad guy, blame it all on me. I don't care. Or whatever. Okay, well, so that's contact's the only thing I changed. Anything else? Remind me, and I think this might hit the fan, but did I ever order mom to pay any type of child support?
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
That might be helpful for Z.
Yeah, the North Carolina family said that's the reason why she wants custody is because she doesn't want child support. But I think we talked about it when Taylor was the caseworker, but when she ended up going to the family in North Carolina and then back to Texas, that was put on hold.
She's ordered to pay $100 a month. Woo, big deal. Child support beginning 10/20/23 payable to Miss Mystic. And Miss Mystic, you probably need to hold that. And y'all let Miss Missy, y'all can buy stuff that Z needs.
Okay.
Or just rat hole it aside. I'm not going to give her $100 just to go blow off, But if
I'll send it to Missy.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to say to Miss Mystic for effects for the child. As decided by CPS and Adlatums. Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, last I saw her, I thought she had a boyfriend. Didn't she have a boyfriend at school? Or a friend? Or she was like,
She does. She does. She actually goes to the school shoemaker in Killeen. And that's why she wanted to go to school.
Okay, good. Okay, well, those are the orders. Thank y'all.
Mr. Ridley had filed an appearance for Mr. and Mrs.
Okay,
Gallagher.
we'll be in recess.
And I still represent Mr. Gallagher, and Miss Wheeler, I believe, is still representing Miss Gallagher. And so I was thinking that you might want to release us since he's representing them now?
Yes, and I need to know how much y'all's attorney fees y'all have incurred.
I will get that to you probably by the end of tomorrow. I would remind you that Mr. Gallagher has been paying or was ordered to pay to the
Right.
Coriel County Clerk's office every month.
Have they been paying that, Mr. Sturmer?
Judge, I'll have to get on there and look real quick.
Yeah, I need to know both of them. They were ordered over a year ago, almost a year ago, to pay beginning different months.
And Judge, I've not received a motion to substitute, much less an order to substitute. And I don't know if Mr. Ridley would perhaps like a copy of the answer that I've already filed or documentation that I've been collecting thus far. If he would like that, he, just needs to let me know.
I have a notice of substitution, notice of appearance.
And Mr. Ridley, you're on mute.
Okay. Try that again. When I first got retained, I think there was an emergency hearing scheduled for the next Monday. So there was not enough time to circulate a motion for, substitution other than doing a motion for appearance or notice of appearance. I'll be happy to do that to clear up that issue and substitute it in for both Ms. Gustafson and Ms. Wheeler.
Mr. Ridley, if you would have I guess, I don't know the appropriate way to do this, maybe she can just say it on the record, but if my client would give me authorization, and you would email me, I would be happy to send you over the file as I have it so far, any and all discovery that I've done and received.
That'll be fine. Judge, how do you want to handle that?
However y'all can work that out. I don't care.
And I would do the same for Mr. Gallagher.
Y'all be sure and include your time, efforts, etc., spent on doing that in your final bill. Okay. And ladies, I need to know the total, like as soon as possible. I need to know the total amount of attorney fees that y'all have incurred on this case. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Also, this case did start out as a drugs, mental health, cutting, and family violence case. That's why there were 2 lawyers appointed to represent each parent, not one. So just saying that. Okay, Ms. Wheeler, Ms. Gustafson, we'll see you later. Thank you. And I don't know, let's see, y'all have anything else set?
I do, Your Honor.
You have more. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Ma'am, Ms. Wheeler?
I am done.
Okay, bye. See ya. Thank you. Okay, so Ms. Trinidad, if you would send Ms. Cummings, Mr. Ridley, Mr. Lee, and Ms. First, is she here? Mr. Lee, is Ms. First going to be here today?
She was supposed to. I'll reach out to her, Your Honor. I thought she was here. I'll reach out to her.
Merck's placement and somebody named Fernando are in the waiting room. That's it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And then Michelle will come in and present her information to reinstate, and she's got an order for that as well.
Okay.
Have you done those? Had any present those?
No.
Me neither.
That's the first one.
Yeah. Well, she filed a petition, and I think we're good. Oh, here comes Chuck. So, Judge, if that's okay, if Chuck's good in the department, are we good, Chuck?
Yeah, we can go forward on the termination deal.
What about reinstatement?
That's for Michelle to do.
I know, or is your client good with it though?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're not opposed to that.
Okay.
Michelle has an order too, so when she comes in, she can do all that.
We need to hurry to get out of that other breakout room.
Well, she said we could go forward.
Is her client here?
Probably coming, but I don't know if she needs to be here for it's up to you, of course, but
if we're going to reinstate somebody's parental rights.
No. We're just doing the termination, Judge. Then when Michelle comes in, she'll do that part if that's okay. Michelle said that we could go forward on just doing the termination.
Okay. Is her client showing up today?
I sure hope so.
McKenna's 5 years old. The relative custodian who is, I believe that's grandma. Is that correct? Grandma is Vivian Moore, and she is not here, but she's represented by Miss Jana Gustafson. Ms. Sturmer, has she ever made an appearance?
She has, Judge.
Okay, because I don't have any service information on her.
She did
She
appear
appeared on December 8th, 2022.
And the biological mother whose parental rights were previously terminated is Julie. She'll be here in a little bit. She's represented by Miss Michelle Cummings. And the CASA guardian ad litem is Miss Demetra Fuller. Her supervisor is Mr. Kevin Lee. He'll be here. He's in a breakout room. And McKenna's attorney ad litem is Miss Dory Mystic. The department is here represented by Miss Shandell Simmons, and her supervisor, I believe, is Miss Letitia Burrell, and their attorney is Mr. Chuck Sturmer. So I think that got everybody covered for the Moore case. So Mr. Sturmer, you may begin.
Judge, I'd first like to offer the final report that was filed by the department as petitioners 1 and the CASA report as petitioners 2.
Anybody have any objections?
No objection.
Okay, CASA report is admitted as petitioners 2, and the CPS report is admitted as petitioners 1.
I'd like to call Shandell Simmons. And you're the caseworker for the department, is that correct?
Yes.
Have you had an opportunity to review the court's or the department's file, as well as the reasons for the child's removal?
Yes.
And the child was removed from Vivian Moore, who is the child's adoptive mother, correct?
Correct.
And this was a wrapper case, correct?
Correct.
So it was a refusal to refusal to accept parental responsibility. And this was based on the child's medical needs, is that correct?
Yes.
And as well as the caregiver or the Miss Moore's also having a lot of medical issues as well?
Yes.
So whenever the removal happened, she had asked CPS to step in because she can no longer care for the child, is that correct?
Correct.
Can you briefly explain the child's medical needs?
McKenna is diagnosed with Down syndrome. At the time, she had recently had heart surgery. She uses a CPAP machine at night. She has a G button for feeding. And she eats somewhat on her own, but she requires like overnight feeding as well.
Okay. Can you also briefly explain the medical issues with Vivian Moore, if you're aware of what those are?
I wasn't aware of her medical issues.
Okay, but it's your understanding that due to age, medical needs, something along those lines, she was not able to care for this child anymore. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Once the department got involved, the biological mother, Ms. Julie Childers, came back into the picture. Is that correct?
Yes.
And she's worked diligently through a service plan and with the department to kind of retake that motherly role for this child. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. What's the department's recommendation going forward?
That Ms. Childers' rights to be reinstated and McKenna is placed with her.
Okay. And she's been placed with Ms. Childers for some time now. Is that correct?
Yes, since May 30th.
Okay. And so you're asking that the parental rights that were given to Vivian Moore pursuant to the adoption of the child be terminated. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that's based on her constructive abandonment of the child who's been in the care of the department for 6 months?
Yes.
As well as the fact that the department has made efforts to return the child to Ms. Moore, and she has declined to welcome the child back into her home. Is that correct?
Yes.
And also that she has not regularly visited or maintained contact with the child?
Correct.
And that she has demonstrated an inability to provide the child with a safe environment based on her, as stated earlier, that she's not able to care for the child anymore. Is that correct?
Yes.
And lastly, do you believe that termination of Ms. Moore's parental rights would be in the child's best interest?
Yes.
Okay. I'll pass the witness.
Anybody have any questions, Ms. Simmons?
Just briefly, Ms. Simmons, is it your understanding that Ms. Moore had allowed the biological mom to continue a relationship with the child during the time that she lived with her?
Yes.
And is it your understanding that Ms. Moore thought that it would be in the child's best interest to return to her mom's home, her biological mother's home?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Mystic, any questions?
No questions.
Okay, thank you. Next witness, Mr. Sturman.
I don't believe I have any other witnesses at this time. Just would ask that we recess to allow Michelle Cummings to prove up the reinstatement of parental rights.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Gustafson, any witnesses?
No witnesses, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Mystic, Ms. Fuller, talk about termination only and why you feel that's in McKenna's best interest.
As McKenna is growing older, as I have observed when I was there with her, she had a violent fit and struck the babysitter at that time really hard, not just once, but twice. And I noticed that as she will get older, she will, I think, overpower physically and not be able to be controlled. And I think that's would be very difficult for Miss Moore to be able to handle this child as she is growing and getting really stronger. So that's all I have, Your Honor. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Sorry.
Anybody have any questions of Ms. Fuller? Ms.
No,
Mystic,
ma'am.
the people in the waiting room are somebody named Fernando and Mertz. Okay. Okay. Ms. Mystic, why do you feel termination is in McKenna's best interest?
Yes, Judge. I'll echo what Ms. Fuller said, but we don't have a home for this child that provides stability, consistency, and routine. And even though it's a wrapper, I believe, and Ms. Gustafson maybe can speak to this, I think her client is at an age that with the issues this child has, she would not be able physically to take care of her. The other part of it is I wouldn't normally recommend termination if we didn't have permanency for this child. And it's not just permanency like a foster home, it's permanency in that it's the biological parent. So I do believe it's in the best interests for termination as long as the court in our next hearing is able to grant the petition to reinstate the rights of the mother. She has provided and done and gone above and beyond to make sure this child is cared for because it is a special needs child. And so knowing that and that she is the bio mother and has those things in place for this child would recommend it. Termination.
Okay, thank you. Anybody like to add anything else as to termination? Okay, I'm going to find by clear and convincing evidence that termination, Ms. Vivian Moore's parental rights as to Ms. McKenna is in McKenna's best interest based under Texas Family Code Section 161.001B1 N and O grounds. Therefore, termination is granted and Ms. Vivian Moore is terminated. Ms. Gustafson, thank you. This has been a really interesting kind of case. We appreciate your help on it. And I don't know if you're done for the day, aren't you?
Yeah, but if it's okay, if I can hang around and listen to Michelle's reinstatement.
Okay, no, that's fine. Okay, but you are released from further representation and we'll be in recess a little bit until we work some of these other cases out. And Ms. Freeman, we're going to come back to this regarding the reinstatement in just a little bit, okay? Okay, thank you.
Judge, why don't you just drag Michelle out?
Okay. Drag her out.
Drag her out of that room.
I'll just go drag her out.
She might appreciate it.
I always like when I'm pulled out.
I would like to call Miss Julie Childers.
Go on, please.
Miss Childers, are you the biological mother of McKenna Moore?
Yes, ma'am.
And were your rights previously terminated through a prior CPS case?
Yes, ma'am.
And has it been more than 2 years since your rights were terminated?
Yes, ma'am.
And in that time, have you alleviated the concerns that the department had for you being a parent?
I'm sorry. Can you say that?
The concerns that the department had and why they terminated your rights, have you alleviated those concerns?
Yes, ma'am.
And what all have you done since your rights were terminated?
I had went through treatment, outpatient, sober living. I continue to maintain my sobriety. I just celebrated 6 years. I work in a treatment facility. I provide for myself a stable home. I'm in school, and I give back to others who are struggling in recovery.
And how much contact have you had with your daughter since your rights were terminated?
For the first, so that was in 2018. So for the first year, I got to see her every other month through a Rule 11 agreement. And in February 2020, Miss Vivian wanted to stop visitations with me once she was adopted. I maintained contact with her at least once a month to see how she was doing and getting pictures of her.
And in this current case with CPS, how often were you getting to see your daughter?
When she was placed into foster care, I was getting to see her every other week.
And how about now?
She was placed back with me May 30th, and I'm with her every day. So it's amazing.
And your daughter, she has some special needs, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you kind of briefly just, what kind of diagnosis does she have?
She has trisomy 21, which is Down syndrome. She had a heart defect, which was goes with the Down syndrome. She had the repair of her ASD when she was a year old. She has chronic lung disease, and she has a G button that she gets food for nutrition through, as well as she orally eats. She has chronic constipation, just delayed developmentally slightly. So am I missing any here? I can't think right now. So, but she has a GI specialist. She has a pulmonologist. She has a cardiologist, a nutritionist. She has a speech therapist, eye doctor, dentist, all of the specialties that she needs.
And do you feel as though you're able to meet all of her needs without CPS staying involved?
Yes, ma'am. We have been establishing care since she was placed with me May 30th with all of her specialty doctors and getting referrals for different therapies that she needs, and maintaining, keeping up with everything.
So today, are you asking this court to reinstate your parental rights to your child?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness.
Thank you, Ms. Cummings. Mr. Sturmer, any questions? Ms. Childers?
No, I don't have any questions. Just would like to say that she's done a great job and we're all very happy for her.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Mystic, any questions, Ms. Childers?
Yes, and Ms. Childers, the termination was due to substance abuse, is that right?
That's correct.
And what is your sobriety date?
August 23rd, 2017. And
we've often talked about it takes a village. Do you have a support system?
Yes, I have a huge support system.
Briefly tell the court what that consists of.
I have a friend of mine who helps me with in my early sobriety that watches McKenna during the day and also homeschools her with the curriculum. I have my best friend Shelly who helps me. She lives right down the road. I have a bunch of coworkers, my family. They all come over to help support with anything. Especially when she first got placed with me, they came over and kind of sat with me, got anything that we may have needed for her. And, and they continue, if I need something, they continue to show up at the doorstep.
How are you taking care of yourself for your care to maintain your sobriety?
I do go to meetings. I work with my sponsor. I have a really strong connection with the recovery community and in Kaufman, there's just a close knit of churchgoers that that I can rely on to talk with. Or I also take walks. I do some self-care as far as like going to get my nails done or something. I know that's so stupid, but
I get it.
Mani and Petty is really important, just to take that time away because it is difficult with a special needs child that requires your attention 100% of the time. And so I do definitely make time for myself to take a breather and everything.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Pass the witness.
Anybody else? Ms. Childers, do you have any other children in the home with you?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Okay. Does anybody else live with you in McKenna?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Why did I think there was you had a boyfriend or something like that?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
I guess I did dream that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sorry. I thought.
I hope he was handsome though.
I'm sure he was. Yeah. I don't know why. I thought that there was somebody that lived in the home with you that helped out a lot too.
No, ma'am.
So McKenna does not go to public school, correct?
Right. We actually have been discussing with my friend Jennifer. I feel like she would, we're working on potty training McKenna, and she's doing very well with it. Her attention span is not the greatest, with her being 5, but also just being like about a 3-year-old. So I think that next school year, I'm gonna put her in public school, so she can get that extra support from the life skills teachers that are trained and certified to do that.
And she goes to Kaufman IC. Is that the IC you're in?
Kaufman, yes, ma'am.
Now, remind me, and I don't know if I've ever known this, where is McKenna's biological father?
I'm not sure.
Okay. So he's not involved in her life at all, correct?
Right.
Okay. How does McKenna do when mom's not around?
I always get reports that that she does good. She listens. She's easily redirected, and super happy to see me whenever I come back.
Okay. Can she talk?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
She's Miss Shandell can probably contest to this or back me up on this, that she's become more verbal since she's been with me with things that she does.
Okay. What type of contact, if any, has Miss Moore had with her since you've had McKenna back in your care?
She has just messaged me a few times, just asking how she's doing and stuff. So
now, and she's maternal grandma?
No, she's no relation.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought maybe we said earlier she was maternal grandma. And I thought that was kind of weird that she wouldn't let you have any contact with her if that was maternal grandma.
Yeah, no, she Hunt County had placed her with Vivian whenever the first case happened.
Okay. Is there anybody, I mean, you're my first reinstatement I've done, okay? So, I will always remember this. So I will also hold you to a higher degree of accountability of everybody else because first one, because you're the first one. Is there anyone, I mean, it's not done very often. I mean, I'm sure you realize that. Is there anyone in Kaufman County, Kaufman, Texas, anywhere that would say that we're doing a bad thing by reinstating your parental rights?
No, ma'am.
You have a house, apartment?
I just moved into a 2-bedroom apartment in August. So McKenna has her own room.
Y'all have any pets?
I have a cat named Zoe.
McKenna like the kitty?
Yes.
I bet. Okay.
That's her Zoe girl.
And does she call you?
She calls me mom.
Mom. Okay. I was hoping you would say not the cat. Okay, you answered my question right.
Oh.
Yeah, no, you did right. Okay, now does anybody have any questions of Ms. Childers? Okay, next witness, Ms. Cummings.
Your Honor, I don't have any more witnesses.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Sturmer, you don't have any witnesses as to terminate, never said that as to reinstatement before, do you?
No, I don't, Judge.
Okay, Ms. Missick, do you have any witnesses?
Other than Casa, but I figured you would call on them.
I will. Okay. Ms. Fuller, this is a first for everybody. Tell me what you think.
Well, first of all, I just want to congratulate Ms. Childers on doing an excellent job and working really hard and involving a village to help her with McKenna. And I just hope that she continues to have that village and that support. She will definitely need it. But I think this is a good thing and that McKenna does belong with her mother.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody have any questions, Ms. Fuller? No? Okay, Ms. Mystic, your turn. What do you think?
Yeah. Judge, so in the last couple of years we had, and I'm not going to say the name, of course, but we had a case where some pretty severe drug allegations, removals, terminations from parents. And one of the things that I usually ask, and I did in the trial, was, what's your sobriety date? What's your support system? And in that case, and it just ended in a jury trial, there was no specific date of sobriety. There was no sponsor. There was not a big aftercare program for these folks because it's lifelong. It is a lifelong with the issues, and you can see her nodding. He knew the exact date of her sobriety because the day you get free is the day you remember for the rest of her life. And she said that. She's in meetings. She's got friends. She's got her sponsor. Those things right there tell me that she is, number one, committed to her sobriety, which is what got her. Close to her now.
Wait, back up. You froze. She's committed to her sobriety. That's what got her. Then that's all we heard.
So that shows me she's committed to sobriety and alleviated those things that caused her to use in the first place. And if she's been able to maintain that, then, and she's doing it with a special needs child in the home, I'd be very concerned if she was doing this on her own. But she is near family, she's near friends, and she's in the community of helping folks of where she's been. So I cannot recommend enough that I believe this to be in the best interest of this child for her rights to be reinstated.
Okay, thank you. Okay, anything anybody else would like to add? Okay, I'm going to find that McKenna's name. She was removed. She lived in Coryell County, Texas. Miss Cummings, your petition says no child in this case is 12 years or older. That's true. Okay, I thought it said younger. I find that McKenna is not 12 years or older, that she is about to turn 6. And I'm going to find that Miss Childers' parental rights were previously terminated by the court in Hunt County, Texas. The termination was approximately August 15th of 2018, which is more than 2 years ago. I'm going to find that Miss Vivian Moore previously was awarded custody of Miss McKenna, and also through the Hunt County Court. There were no appeals pending or any other type of lawsuits in any other county pending involving McKenna. McKenna was previously adopted by Ms. Moore, and due to circumstances regarding a refusal to accept parental responsibility case, she came back into the temporary managing conservatorship of the department in Coryell County. I'm going to find that this court previously, a couple of minutes ago, terminated the parental rights of Miss Vivian Moore. I'm going to find that Miss Childers gave 45 days notice, at least 45 days notice to the department of her intention to seek reinstatement of her parental rights. In fact, this intention notice was sent on approximately March 22nd of 2023. I'm going to find further that Miss Childers' rights were terminated based under a voluntary affidavit of relinquishment and no other reasons. I'm going to find that Miss Childers has had custody of McKenna, placement of McKenna under this current CPS case for a few months now, and McKenna is thriving in Miss Childers' care, and that she has the willingness and the capacity to serve as McKenna's mom, as she was biologically born to Miss Childers. Miss Childers, further find that Miss Childers has stated her involvement in the community, her involvement in work, her involvement in the sobriety community, and set forth all the educational, medical needs of McKenna, and then I'm going to find that all these needs are being addressed by Miss Childers. Further, I'm going to find that Ms. Childers has not previously filed a petition seeking reinstatement of her parental rights. That being said, unless anybody else has anything to say, I'm going to find that reinstatement of Miss Julie Childers' parental rights is in McKenna Grader's best interest, and I will grant the petition filed by Ms. Cummings. And Ms. Childers, your mom, your parental rights are reinstated. Congratulations.
Are we changing her name?
Oh, we do need to change her name.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Ms. Cummings, we need to file some sort of motion for change of name.
I make an oral motion.
I was going to say that. Can I make an oral motion? Change her name to, yes, McKenna.
Same spelling, McKenna? Good. I think that's really cute. Okay. Well, it's kind of fun. It is fun. It's kind of feel like we should do this on like I know the pictures Dory sent me are so cute. Kind of feels like this is something fun we should be doing on Adoption Day, because it's sort of and McKenna would have loved Adoption Day, y'all. That would have been super fun. So, Miss Childers, we wish y'all the best of luck. You got your hands full, but you got your good grasp on everything. And I think going to school is a good idea. I mean, then it's more eyes and ears, and the schools are federally required to do things for our children, our special needs children, and it's good for her socially, and everything else, and maybe meet some, you can meet some other friends, students, parents that have the same needs, and might find some people to help y'all trade off for babysitting or helping, or find some good therapist information. Or I think that I'm a public school nerd, so what can I say? But Ms. Fuller, thank you for your representation in this case. Ms. Gustafson, she wanted to listen in anyway. Mr. Lee, Ms. Mystic, Ms. Cummings, this is a happy day. This is great. So congrats. Ms. Cummings, you're going to send me the reinstatement order, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, yay. Congrats.
Good luck.
Is there anything else that I need to be doing? Like as far as after this, is there?
You'll have to use the order to get a new birth certificate, go through Bureau of Vital Statistics, and you might as well just go beat your head against the wall. I am dealing with other people. And I'm telling you, they are jacked up on a good day. Okay. Just like if you were to go get your birth certificate. So this might freak them out. So it's going to probably take some, because there are not, this is a new statute with, let's see, not this session, but the 2021 session. So, I bet you they haven't done a handful of these across the state of Texas. So just bear with them, and, Ms. Cummings can deal with them. Worst come to worst. I mean, that's going to take a while, but no, there's nothing else you need to do. Get a certified copy of it, but Michelle can help you with that.
Okay. Thank you so much.
She's still on the billing clock, I'm sure, for a while.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. You got a darling little girl, and we hope she stays healthy, wealthy, and wise. So thank you. Okay. But Miss Mystic, Casa CPS release from further representation. Yay, the case will be closed.
It's more, if you need me, even if the case is closed, reach out. Don't hesitate.
Were you talking to me, Mr. Kevin?
Yes, if you need
Yes, I will
anything,
you
it's
know I will
closed,
definitely
reach
keep you-
out. I got
I
you.
will keep in contact with you. I already told Miss Shendell that too.
Good.
Yeah, everybody's always around, regardless of where the case is at. It's good.
He's a Beagle Corgi. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Oh, really? I was Fox Terrier. I have to see him again. It's cute.
I'll show you.
Okay. Oh, you are cute. Yeah, no, not Fox Terrier. You're a Beagle. I don't know if I see any Corgi, but I see a lot of Beagle. Yeah.
If she stands up, you'll see the Corgi. She's a chunker. She's a big.
Is she on the top of the couch?
Yeah, she's emotional support today. And we got our Chihuahua Terrier right here, and our Poodle Terrier over back here.
Oh my! I didn't even see. Look at all this. I didn't even see them in the back. That's really cute.
Yeah.
Y'all have any cats?
We got 2 cats. They're not gonna come out. They're one of them is a bad cat. He's a young boy cat, and he's very, very lively. Runs all over, knocks things over, harasses the turtle. And then our older cat, she's about 8. We got her just before our oldest son was born, and she's about 8 years old, and she doesn't come out. She's a very lazy old cat.
And she's not really that old. She's only 8, but that's okay.
She acts like she's old though.
I understand. Before, when we were all still doing Zoom, my, officially because of COVID, my animals came to court quite a bit, but they're not come to court anymore because most of the time, Mr. Glass, can I sign in now? Yes.
How many animals do you have, Your Honor?
I have 3 dogs, 3 cats, I have one Canadian goose. I have about 25 ducks, and about 60 deer.
Oh, you got a whole farm.
I do have a whole farm, but pet wise, 6. Well, the other ones, the birds are my pets too, but they live. Excuse me. Excuse me.
From the ducks?
No, unless it has a HEB wrapper on it, it doesn't get eaten at this house. No, I live on a lake and they live in the backyard.
Oh, okay.
Water. They hang around here. They were born here, so they just stay. It's pretty cool.
And the goose, is he
No,
mean?
he's really nice. He thinks he's a duck.
Oh.
He hangs around because there's 2 Peking ducks, those big white ducks. Somebody bought them and they just cruise around the neighborhood. And the one goose, he must have lost his partner or something. And he just stays in the backyard. I mean, in the water. But no, he's a Canadian goose. He's not one of those mean, you want to put their head down and do like that. No, he's a nice goose.
I got a scar on the back of my calf. I got attacked by a goose one time. And he would not.
No, my goose would not attack you. Okay, thank you. Okay, we're set for trial today. Ms. Shermer, let me know what's going on, please.
Judge, they were asking for an extension in this case. I believe that the circumstances warrant the extension based on the fact that the parents just started unsupervised visits. We're definitely working towards reunifying the family, but we just need more time. And so that's the circumstances that we need for the extension. The parties have agreed to start or to increase the unsupervised time for the parents to up to 8 hours a week. The schedules are a little bit screwy, but I think everybody's spoke and have agreed to try to work that out, whether that be a weekend visit or a few different weekday visits in order to try to get them the most time with the children. And then beginning in November to start overnight visits for the family, and for this case to be set on the docket on November 15th. I believe there's maybe 10 or 12 cases already set that day, but potentially have that set for to review and monitor return requests from the parents, and hopefully that'll just be agreed and it'll be a quick hearing.
Okay. Ms. Semigale, what do you need?
I just want to clarify that the plan, so that way we're all on the same page, that it's 8 hours during October, and then the last weekend of October is an overnight on Halloween or a Halloweenish type of, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or whatever, one of the, days around the Halloween timeframe is an overnight, and then November is the weekend visits.
Okay. Well, I don't really see much.
So like Friday to Sunday type of visit for 2 weeks.
Well, sounds so.
And then hearing on the November 15th.
Not a whole weekend for Halloween, just a couple of a day, and then work up. Okay. Okay, Mr. Glass.
Yep, that sounds good to me, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Chambers.
It sounds good to me, Your Honor.
Yay, good. Okay, Miss Mystic.
Yes, Judge, and the foster parents and the parents have been working really well. I reached out to the foster mom about this schedule. She says it sounds great. They work really well together. I think they'll be able to work those out as far as the times for the up to 8 hours. And she said that a big block is more realistic to home life. So the foster mother. So I think doing weekends is better than just one overnight. But I think that Halloween one, we're saying one, and then in November, those 2 weekends are full weekends.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, let me work on getting my calendar, get some dates for y'all. Yeah, no, our next permanency hearing is 11/15.
Okay.
Just getting some other dates.
Sure.
We'll redo the scheduling order when we go to monitor return, but let me do this. Okay, anybody like to say anything else? Okay. Okay, I'll grant extension and find extension is in the best interest of the children. Everybody get pens out, and here's our new court dates. 11/15 is the next permanency hearing. And it sounds like a monitor return, that might be a little early. That's not going to give a whole lot of weekends.
Well, Judge, we kind of looked at, they've been having a month of unsupervised already,
Oh.
and then doing another month, increasing it, and then weekends. So we felt like that's going to be 3 months of unsupervised time and 3 times of overnights.
And
Okay,
that's before the holidays start in November. So, I mean, there may be another weekend after
Sure.
that too, before then the holidays come up, but.
okay. Okay, 11/15, 1/17, 3/20 is the final trial, and our new dismissal date is 4/13/24. Okay, Mr. and Ms. Little, y'all have a service plan. You know you have to comply. Your parental rights could be subject to termination, okay?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
But y'all understand, y'all are working your plan. Okay, well, that sounds like appreciate everybody working on that. Sounds like some good ideas. I'll see y'all in about 6 weeks. Are we gonna have we're not having a trial today, are we?
No, Your Honor.
No.
Okay, Ms. Freeman, I forgot to make the appearances in the Little case. Do I need to go back on the record and do that, or did you get it?
I got it.
Grace, Lori, and Troy. And they are represented by their attorney ad litem, Miss Michelle Cummings, and their CASA is Mr. Kevin Lee, and Mr. and Mrs. First, F-U-R-S-T. Department is represented by Ms. Raven Cheney and her supervisor, Ms. Lakeisha Burrell, and attorney Chuck Sturmer. Mom is Miss Chelsea, and I'm going to mess it up. Buquay.
No, you got it right.
Shocking. I'm awful with names. And she's represented by Mr. Pat Ridley. The father, Mr. Kenneth Gallagher, is also here, and he's also represented by Mr. Pat Ridley. I think, make sure it covers everybody. I think that is everybody. Okay, so we're set for trial today. Dismissal date is 10/16. And sounds like y'all, well, I know y'all have been talking. So what's going on, Mr. Sturmer?
Judge, I'm going to let Michelle Cummings announce the rest of this agreement here in just a second, but everybody's agreed to an extension.
Okay.
In this case, I believe that there are extraordinary circumstances that warrant the extension, mainly based on the fact that the parents, we've agreed that we're about to start unsupervised visits. They haven't been having unsupervised, so we're moving in the right direction, and we just need more time.
Okay. Does everybody agree that an extension is in the guidelines? Y'all agree that extension is in the best interest of the children?
Yes, Your Honor.
Y'all do? Okay, thank you. Mr. Lee gave me a thumbs up. Mr. First nods yes. Okay. Okay, Ms. Cummings, what's the rest of the agreement, please?
Your Honor, we're planning on just kind of keeping things the way they are, continue on with the family therapy, visitation at the discretion of the ad litem, CPS, but we are going to start doing some unsupervised visitation, try to kind of propel this family forward in the right direction.
Okay. When did family therapy start?
It was only a few weeks ago, Your Honor. But with the travel that the parents are going up there, it just, the lack of available supervisors, the parents are clean. They haven't had a positive drug test in quite some time. Don't believe there's any concerns with alcohol. The kids would really like to be able to visit with their parents on a more regular basis. And so starting shorter periods of unsupervised just seemed like the way to go. That way everyone's needs are being met.
Okay. Okay. Mr. First, Mr. Lee, do y'all agree with Ms. Cummings, what Ms. Cummings said? Yes? No?
Yes, Your Honor, I agree. The kids want to see the parents and the parents want to see the kids. And only way we're going to know if it's either going to work or it's not going to work. And we need to give those parents the chance to see if it's going to work. And the only way we're going to do that is let them start having some unsupervised visits with the kids, because the children, they may tell the parents, share some stuff with the parents that we don't know, and then we find out and we can address it so that the parents and kids can be reunified with each other, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Mr. Ridley, your clients agreed to the extension?
Oh, absolutely, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Y'all, the dismissal date on this one is the same as the last case we just did the extension on. So when do y'all want to have the first permanency hearing in the extension? So our new dismissal date is going to be 3/20/24. That's the final trial date, 3/20/24. Our new dismissal date is 13/24. Our new permanency dates are 12/6. And let's see, calendar. 2/7. Okay, so we have 12/16 permanency hearing, 2/7 permanency hearing, 3/20 final trial, dismissal date 4/13/24. So
That's 12, that's 12/6, right? Your Honor, or 16.
12/6. I don't know what I said. 12/6. Me and date sometimes don't match so well. So, okay, so I'm going to say visits as increased per CPS and end items. Ms. Gustafson, Ms. Wheeler, to obtain the total amount of attorney fees each have incurred during the pendency of this case. They're to send them to me by 10/6/23. Mr. Sturmer is to also report to me by 10/6/23 the amount of fees that the Gallagher parents have paid to the Coryell County District Clerk's office.
Judge, I was able to get on the clerk system, and the online system does not show that they've made any payments. So if they have proof of any payments they've made, I think that they need to provide those to the court because I'm not seeing any.
Okay.
Yeah,
Have they made any payments
Yeah.
to Coryell County?
if they made a payment, then we'll get you proof of that.
Okay, I need that by 10/6 also. Okay, I'm going to find the extension is in the best interest of the children, and it is granted. Parents, y'all have your service plan. You know, you have your service plan. You've already worked.